Welcome everybody. I'm gonna do a little Q&A. This is not requested by anyone. This is personal choice. Just because I feel like I should probably tell you guys who I am and what I'm about. So what I'd like to start off with is what equipment I use. The first thing that I went for in order to start recording my music was there was this pack and it was called the Focusrite Solo 2 3rd generation. And it came with these headphones, this mic, and it came with an interface and a cable for the headphones and the mic. The stand is separate, the pop mic is separate. But this helped me get a really big jump in my production quality. I used to make my songs by singing into my laptop microphone, which was absolutely horrible. All of my first listeners know how those songs sound, and my voice is really quiet. It's way too quiet. Before I got that though, I got this electric guitar. It's not my first, it's actually my second, but I got it as a graduation present, and it's called the Epiphone Les Paul Standard. It was $500, but as I said, it was a graduation present, so I was pretty happy with that. I was really excited. I got it in solid black, and I'll actually pull it up right now. So this right here is my Epiphone. I love these guitars just because they're high quality and they sound amazing for what they are. $500 is a lot, but it's surprisingly cheap compared to Gibson guitars or more expensive other brands, I don't know. But it sounds amazing, it's beautiful, and it looks awesome. Look at this thing, man. I apologize about the strings. I'm pretty lazy with that, just because it doesn't come into my recordings. It doesn't bother me, and I don't have the tools to cut it right now. The other guitar that I have is a Squier Bullet Stratocaster Hardtail Limited Edition. That guitar was $220. I think I paid a little bit more for it, which is kind of sad, but I got a discount on it. I didn't pay $220 for it though. And of course it costs more after taxes, but I think it was because of the color that I got it in. And let me pull that up also real quick. So please forgive my string work again, because it's really bad. It's horrible on this one, but the color is beautiful. It sounds amazing. I know there's a lot of opinions on this type of guitar just because it's a Bullet. It's a step up from the models below it, but it sounds awesome for what it is. And some more experienced guitarists will probably tell you that they don't sound as good as other guitars, and you probably want to change the pickups and rewire it, all this stuff, but I don't mind it. It's awesome. I love the bolt-on neck, so I could change that out. The Les Paul doesn't have that, which is a little disappointing, but they kind of all come like that. Okay, so my inspirations, probably my biggest influence ever is Gorillaz. I love Gorillaz. I've loved them since I was a kid. My mom had the Demon Days album, and I kind of like took it from her. I would always put it in. I had a Lightning McQueen CD player, and I think it could play tapes too. I'm pretty sure it could play tapes. I loved the Gorillaz just because when I was younger, I was like, how are these cartoons singing, you know? And they look so cool. I remember wanting to dye my hair blue and everything just to look like 2D. It was so awesome. I would always try to sing their parts, and I obviously couldn't, but I'd try my best to. And I even have an old cassette tape where I'm singing all the songs. Just, it's so bad, but I still have it in my room actually right now. Another inspiration of mine is probably Red Hot Chili Peppers. I am in love with John Frusciante. That dude is amazing. His guitar playing is unreal. His inspirations are pretty interesting too. He's my favorite guitarist of all time. He has unreal melodies, and his solos are amazing. Just his little riffs and all his songs. I love his solo music. His solo music's amazing. But all of it's so awesome and diverse. I love it. It's super elemental. Another influence I would say would be Guitar Hero 3. That's how I got to know a lot of the songs that I do now. I would always play with my older brother. He'd play on expert, I'd play on easy, and I'd play the bass guitar. I never understood the bass guitar. just because I couldn't hear it. I guess it's because of our TV speakers or whatever, but I couldn't hear it. But it was a lot of fun. I love that game, and it taught me a lot of the songs that I know now. So, my full name is Augustine Romeo Cruz III, and I was born in Oceanside, California. I've lived in a lot of places because my family is a military family. So I've lived in Virginia, Hawaii, Oahu specifically, Texas, and yeah, I think that's about it. Having that background was really interesting just because I made a lot of friends in every single state that I lived in. And even though I was a quiet kid, I still got to know everybody, and that's kind of how I got my current following on Instagram. I knew a few people from here and there, but it kind of came together, and I have a lot of awesome friends now, which is really cool. Okay, so why I started playing music in the first place. Whenever I was younger, my grandpa would always play guitar in front of everyone. I loved that, and it was so cool seeing him play that thing. He loved playing guitar so much, and he would mostly sing songs that already existed. He didn't write anything. I had asked him about if he had written any songs, but he said the only songs he ever wrote were for my grandma, his wife, and she's the only person who's ever heard them, and he still has them written down somewhere. He pulled it up in front of me one time. I sadly never got to hear him. Whenever I told my parents, like, I thought it was awesome that he played guitar, they eventually got me a guitar, and I remember it was a red one with flames on it. I'm pretty sure you could find it somewhere. I eventually got another guitar that's white with blue stars on it, and I believe that both of these guitars were purchased at Ross, and they sounded so bad, but I never knew a single chord on those guitars. I never even tuned the guitars ever. I didn't know anything about tuning. I would manually, tune the what do you call them? Tuners. I tune the tuners, and I would just try to make sounds with that, and I eventually would. And a really scary thing actually happened one day. We brought things to show and tell at school, and I brought my guitar, and I brought it because it was just the thing that I loved, but they expected me to play, and I did, and it was so sweaty. I was so nervous, and I don't think I played any good, like, at all, but they all clapped and everything. And I remember I took it to lunch too, and they pulled me up on stage, and I played in front of the whole school, and it was the worst thing ever, but everyone said I did great. And even my crush at the time, she thought I did excellent, which was kind of a boost, but I felt like I didn't do any good. But eventually I lost track of those guitars just because they kind of broke over time. I didn't know how to play them, like I said, and I think it was 2017 or 2016. No, it was 2016 or 2015. I bought an Epiphone. I think it was the cheapest model. It was this Epiphone pack that came with an amp in like a case and a cord, and it was like a sunburst colorway because of Slash. He was pretty cool. But I got that, and that thing was awesome. Every time I went to a Guitar Center, my grandpa told me never to touch the guitars because they were really expensive, and so I never got to hear what one sounded like when you actually plugged it in and like just touched it. Like, what would it sound like? And it was mind-blowing for me because I ordered it online, and when I picked it up and plugged it in and played it, it was I loved that thing. And I played with that guitar for so many years, and then in high school, when I graduated, I got my newest guitar. Not my newest guitar. I got the Les Paul. All right, yeah, that should be about it. I'll keep it short and sweet for the first video, or I don't know, the last video. I don't know. Thank you for checking this out. Hope you guys have a nice day, and thank you for listening.